Rob Bell, and I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the epicenter of progressive culture. But to you, I bring a simple greeting of howdy. It's great to be with you. I would like to talk to you tonight about the love of God. God's love is vast and infinite and indestructible. God's love is as wide as the cosmos and as close as your breath. Did you know that in pretty much every language ever, the word for spirit is the same word as the word for breath? God is as close as your breath. How many of you are breathing? How many of you plan on continuing to breathe? Perhaps this is a divine reminder in this very moment that you are loved exactly as you are, exactly as you sit there breathing. You have had this love since early on in your own creation, knit together in your mother's womb. And so, we work, and we labor, and we strive, and we impress, and we accomplish to obtain that which we had all along. There's an ancient story about the Rabbi of Krakow. It's an 18th century Hasidic tale. The Rabbi of Krakow falls into a deep sleep, and the Rabbi has this fantastic dream, this vision in the dream of this faraway city, and under the bridge in that faraway city, a treasure is buried. And so he wakes up from the dream, and he immediately packs up, and he heads out for that foreign city, and he travels many days, and he comes to the city, and he hides in the bushes, and he's spying on the bridge, trying to figure out how to get the treasure under the bridge, or where the treasure even is. There is a policeman, as there often are, who sees the rabbi from Krakow spying on the bridge. So this policeman says, "You there, in the bushes. Come out of the bushes, what are you doing?" And the rabbi comes out, and he has this sort of sheepish, shameful, he says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I was just watching, I've been watching you, and you've been watching this bridge for a number of hours. Why are you spying on this bridge? What are you looking for?" And the rabbi says, "Well, okay, I had this dream. And in the dream, I had this vision of a bridge, and under the bridge was a treasure. And so I came to see if I could figure out where the treasure is." At this point, the police officer begins to laugh hysterically. It's a deep, low, guttural laugh. He laughs and laughs, and then he says, "Ha, you believe in dreams like that? If I believed in dreams like that, I would believe that there is treasure hidden under the bed of some rabbi from Krakow." The rabbi from Krakow says, "Thank you very much, sir." And he returns home quite quickly. Some of you may get that later. It's quite clever. And so we spend our lives searching for that which we have had all along. I'm a Christian, and I believe at the heart of the Christian story is this Jesus who comes among us to give us this love, show us this love, invite us into this love so that we might share this love with a world that desperately needs it. Are you with me now?
Yes. Amen. Amen.
The Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard told a parable about a king who is surveying his kingdom, and he is traveling through the villages of his kingdom. And at one point, he's passing outside the village, and in a field, he sees the most beautiful young woman he has ever seen in his life. And he says, "Hubba, hubba." And he says, I don't know what that means. He sees her, and he is absolutely captivated by her, and he can't stop thinking about her. The whole way home, through all the different villages on the way back to the castle, he cannot stop thinking about this woman that he has seen. And so he comes back, and he's on his throne, and he is absolutely preoccupied with this woman. And so he says, "Well, I know what I'll do. I will order her to the castle." And one of his advisors says, "But king, if you order her to your castle, and you make her your queen, you will never know whether you have her heart or whether she's there by imperial edict. And he says, good point. Says, I have an idea. I will go down to her village. I will show up at her front door, and I will present myself. Another advisor says, yes, but king, there's a problem. When you travel, you roll deep. I mean, you've got your carriage, you've got your horses, you've got your soldiers, you've got this retinue of advisors and consultants and people coming with you and assistants and managers, and you show up, the noise, the volume, the dust, the thundering, she will open her door and be so thoroughly overwhelmed she won't be able to hear a word that you say. And it is then that the king realizes that he has only one option. He realizes his only option is to take off his robe, to take off his crown, to take off his ring, to dress like somebody would dress in her village, and then to go down and move into her village and woo her as an equal. And so, the great writer Eugene Peterson, in translating John chapter 1, says, the divine took on flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood.